against the law, and he's really fighting this stuff. He's really fighting this stuff. He's got a lot of great ideas. He says there's a big problem with the legal aspect of it, or the legitimate aspect of it, with electric companies and things like that, with the e-meters, where they take like a plastic head and they put water in it. They put a water content level in it, and then test these things on basically a plastic head filled with water. So they're not really looking at this stuff scientifically enough. They're not looking at it the right way, to where, hey, this stuff is really, there's nerves and there's muscle tissue, there's bone, there's your eyes, everything, your tongue. They're just kind of, they're like basing it off of like a plastic head with water in it, hitting it with some of these, frequencies that would come from an e-meter, and going, oh, look, it's all safe. So it's really dumb science. Just like they're using this technology, it's dumb science. Where they're torturing people and saying, brain initiative, and, saying that they're learning things about, reading what people are going to do or how people think, and it's dumb science. And that's it. I guess that's a term that, I'm really going to start to use, because dumb science becomes no science. It becomes no learning, and it just hurts people. So it actually sets this technology backwards. They're using this technology in a secretive way to electronically rape women and, cook people, and it brings it back. We're going to have to relearn how to actually use this technology, what people really are, because they're just learning about people who are being tortured and abused. So it's setting it back. It's setting the technology back, and it's setting the science back of learning about the human mind and everything like that. It's given to people who they really can't give the data out, because if they gave the data out, there'd be a lot of evidence on them being murderers. So no real good data can be collected. And that's just my opinion. Maybe y'all think that in a more secretive agency there is this horrible data that's collected of people getting hurt, and it is all saved. But I think that would be a danger for them. And if they do save it, we need to get that data and get it out to people of what they're doing to people. I think really the best thing that we can do now, is document our experiences, because even if people don't listen to them now, they will listen to them in the future. So even if we can't collect hardcore data, and some of this vehicular stalking is hardcore data, the probability of the one light cars and every light changing on me for every video is non-existent. It's not slim, it's non-existent. Nobody has that bad of luck to have every light change on them when they're going under them. So a lot of the probabilities that you see on my videos, they're proof, because there is no probability that exists that you see that many one light cars when you're driving around. People can make excuses and make up stuff in their head so they feel better, but the probability doesn't exist in reality for these things to be happening. And I do want to say, like, on my videos, it has happened even in my small situation. It has. There's one light, gray car right there. It has happened even in my situations. My first videos, I think I was getting like maybe 50 views, like right when I was putting them out. Now I'm getting like 300 views on every video. Some of those videos that I made that I got 50 views on, for the first maybe month, now I have like 5,000 views on them. So things that I documented in the past, not a lot of people were looking at them. But then I kept making videos and kept putting it out there, and more target individuals are being made daily. So they're going to even those older videos that I made, and more people are seeing them. So if you think that your documentation, nobody's going to see it, you're wrong. The more you document, the more that people will see it. And if you're a good speaker, I'm not a lot of people say I'm a good speaker. I'm not. I don't like public speaking. you know, I've talked about this so much that I'm getting tired. I don't want to even think about it anymore. It's torture just to have to deal with it. But you know, it's so important. This is our lives. This is our families, our own lives, our health, and our safety. You know, for so many women and children, and innocent men and women and children. You know, that I do. I'll force myself to keep talking about it and try and keep talking about it in an intelligent way. But you know, I was thinking. I actually said this to my V2K today. I said, you know, you can brain damage me all you want, and I added the F word in there. And I said, you can brain damage me all the F you want. I'll just make a video about it. And that's what I'm gonna do, because you know, if you go back and you look at my first videos and you look at the progression of this, like any psychiatrist, any neurologist should be able to look at this stuff and tell that it's not some kind of neurological dysfunction that keeps on progressing. It's not a mental illness that keeps progressing. Any educated person can look at my videos from 3 years ago, compare them with now, compare them with my speech patterns, compare them to you know, how I'm going through these subjects, what I'm forgetting and not forgetting, and then put them to what I'm saying, and it's evidence. It's evidence. Even me not being a good speaker now, which I'm all right. I wish sometimes, you know, I was more like I was at the beginning. I could think of tons of things to talk about, and it seems like it's progressed. You know, my targeting has gotten dirtier. It's gotten a lot where I don't want to talk about it. It's stuff that it's not. It doesn't shame me. It shames them, but because of the misunderstanding about what's happening. You know, there's some stuff that I do not want to talk about. And at the beginning, it seemed like it was, you know, this guy's had to ramp it up. They ramp it up for, you know, a specific reason, to make you look like you're mentally ill, you know, because, you know, in the first, you know, when they first get the equipment, you know, they're doing the high-pitched sound or whatever, and they're ramping it up because they've never really done this before. They've never killed somebody slow before. And then once they're in it for years, it's like all bets are off. They're not getting caught, and so they just keep ramping it up. You know, for a very number of reasons. You know, keep ramping it up to make you look crazy. Keep ramping it up because they're getting more comfortable that they're not going to get caught. You know, they don't want to do anything too fast because it does leave evidence. But even that slow ramp up, you can look at my, you know, past videos and then compare them with videos now. Any good neurologist or psychiatrist should be able to do that. So that's also, I mean, very good evidence. And I've got to make sure, you know, if you are a target individual, and, you know, I don't want to say anything's going to happen to us permanently, like where we die, but, you know, get your parents or get somebody to be a legacy on the account. So if something does happen to you, you know, they can't take your videos down. Because those videos will be so important. They're important now. They're urgently important now. But when people try and figure out what happened here, and everybody needs to know the truth for our society to move forward, it's the only way. We can't keep going with stuff like this, or we will have no civilization. Like, it really will be a serfdom. Like a serfdom where we're all down here at the bottom, kind of eating each other, and at the top, you know, they're kind of playing us off each other. There's a one-light car in the rearview mirror coming up beside me. Let's get them on tape. I'm at 37 minutes. I'll go ahead and do an hour. It's like I have no idea. It's a person that doesn't study their world and doesn't care about their country. But it's going to be important. It's going to be important in the future. So you want to document it. Just document everything. Even if you don't want to put it out on YouTube. You know, write it down, do a journal. I would just suggest to any target individual, even if you don't want to put it on YouTube, make a video journal and just say how you're feeling. Get on the conference calls to get it out of you. You know, and I'm definitely gonna stop talking about getting a talk shoot conference call, and I'm gonna get one because I got a computer and I got a phone, and I just need to make my own call. You know, and you know, we'll talk about everything on there. Just more calls in a time slot that we need. And if you're really good at, moderating things, you may want to think about doing a talk shoe call, so we can have calls just going on all the time, so people don't have to feel alone, and they won't be in danger of, just being alone with that V2K, and doing something stupid to themselves or others. But I guess that's about it. Coming up on 45 minutes. I may just get some more vehicular stalking. It's just amazing to see, and it hurts my heart. I don't admit it to my stalkers. I'm just like, I say stuff like, you've already killed me. I don't feel anything, so go ahead. Go ahead and do the remote neural monitoring. You're not hurting me. But I do. It breaks my heart to see people who aren't thinking, and they're hurting people. They're harassing people who are getting hurt. I was caravanned today by 3 EMS workers, in a fire truck, what's it called, a fire marshal. 3 EMS workers, though. Definitely caravanned by them. And I'm in so much pain, I need medical attention, because what's happening to my spine and my brain. And I am making a neurologist appointment. I keep talking about this stuff, but y'all gotta understand, every day it's like a battle, and I'm trying to, today I just had to pay my internet bill, and it was like $100 for 1 month because I had a, change of address for the internet and the actual service, and it's just like you have to pay these exorbitant fees, and just, just for the service you have to pay so much. I was kind of thinking, man, I wouldn't mind getting gouged like this if I wasn't being murdered and raped. I was like, I'd be like, this is too expensive, but at least I feel good, and, I can go to the store and be with my family. It's just money, and I can, make money at a job because I'm smart. I do start to worry about those things a little bit. The way that they are hitting me with a constant stream of microwave energy, I don't know. I have faith in God. I trust in His plan, always, even if I die. And I know, I've heard that from all UTIs. Your faith carries you. If you don't believe in something specifically, your good nature carries you, about believing that people are good. But even if I die, I'll trust in God's plan. But I do worry about that. About getting a job. If this ended, how would my body heal? What are the long-term consequences? I do worry about that a lot. I test for groin cancer, sometimes, and it's very. I do want to mention that, not to be lewd. I want to mention that because while I'm testing for groin cancer, the V2K is like, oh, look at that, he's a pervert. And I'm testing for groin cancer because they hit me in the groin with, ELF beams. So it's very icky. That sound kind of summed it up. One of the things that I've noticed is at the beginning of all this, I really, wasn't that ashamed of things. I'm still not ashamed of my body or anything like that with the surveillance. But I do notice this, and I want to mention it. When something's going on for so long to a human being, it does condition you. Even if you are, really averse to conditioning and you really fight it, it just goes on all the time, and it does kind of condition to just give you a feeling, especially when you have the remote neural monitoring along with it. And it's taken the joy out of a lot of things, like that, taking a bath, or just waking up in the morning and having to use the bathroom or whatever. There's simple joys in life that you're